Welcome to your pick a pile video. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. This is just a general reading for what you need to hear at this moment, so go ahead. If you've already know which pile is yours, go ahead and go to it, and I'll see you in your reading. If you have not done a pick a pile, go ahead and pause the video. Let yourself see which pile you feel pulled to, and the description or the timestamp for the pile that you picked will be in the description below. So go ahead, pause the video, and I will see you in your reading. Welcome pile 1 to your reading. You picked the rune Gabo for your reading. Gabo is about partnership. It's about unconditional love. It's kind of like the universe, coming together with you as well. Partnership doesn't have to be you and a romantic partner or a friend. It could be you with yourself, a different part of yourself, or you in the universe, or it could be with you with somebody else. Again, it doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. You and this person could be business. You and this person could be a collaborator in some type of way. So that is the rune that you've picked for this reading, and let's see how it applies to your reading, pile 1. So let's go ahead and dive in. So this is you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And here we have the 4 of Daggers reversed. When I see this card in its reverse position, it's one of those reminders that yes, we're in a period of rest, but rest can't last forever. Eventually we have to start integrating ourselves back into whatever it is that we were resting from. So the classic example I like to give with this, with this card is when you come out of surgery. So when you come out of surgery, you first have to do the recovery period. There's no way around it. Recovery period is necessary. And then after you are finished with your recovery period, you need to start doing physical therapy. Well, that's a very action-oriented example. It's a very real example that a lot of people can understand. The same goes with our rest. So while you had that period of mental rest, that mental relaxation, that ability to allow yourself to just find a clear headspace, now we have to start integrating and putting ourselves back into the mundane and applying, what we know and going forward with life. So it's just a call to bring ourselves out of relaxation and into a more active type of state. The root of the issue. We have the 6 of Crystals reversed, and we have the 4 of Cups reversed. I actually want to talk about the 6 of Crystals, also known as the 6 of Pentacles. A reminder that this suit is earth energy, so this is not just about your finances, it's about your time, energy, and health. You spend time, you spend energy, hopefully we're not spending health. So when I see the 6 of Crystals in its reverse position, this card is about you receiving help in some type of way, or you giving help. If you're receiving the help, it's coming in a way that you really weren't wanting it or expecting it. It's coming in a smaller form. There's 2 ways that it can be perceived in this reverse position. It could be that you were trying to get a loan of, say, $10,000 and you were only approved for $7,000, or it could be one of those things where you're finding yourself low on time and you're just like, oh my gosh, I need a day to myself, and you have plans for the weekend, and the way that you get those, that time to yourself is by those plans being canceled. Either way, the universe gives you, something. It's just not exactly as much as what you were hoping for. I also said it could be you giving too much. When I talk about you giving too much, that's saying that you're giving from an empty cup and that you aren't fulfilling yourself first. So we need to pay attention to that. And I'm going to come back to what I think the more specific of these 2 cards are, because I always do the full story. And I feel like I will get more information when I have the full story. Now, the 4 of Cups in its reverse position. This is a card, for me at least, that is better to see in its reverse position than its upright position. Because with the 4 of Cups, you're often daydreaming. You're often thinking about that cup in that sky, and you're not really doing anything with the 3 cups in front of you. When it's reversed, though, it's a reminder that, yes, I know I have that cup in the sky, but at the same time, I know that I'm, need to work on the 3 cups in front of me. It's where you're kind of like getting into the begrudging, like I'm reluctantly working on these 3 cups in front of me. I'm reluctantly returning back to the mundane. And because you're reluctant about it, it's still kind of an issue. Because if we're reluctant about getting back to the mundane and seeing how it's pulling us forward, then we're still in resistance instead of still being in flow. We want to be in flow, so instead of being disappointed about the fact that we have to get back to the mundane, let's get excited knowing that the mundane is going to lead us to that dream, to that goal. What's holding us back is actually the Empress reversed and the Emperor reversed. So I really thought this was interesting. First, because these cards are gender bending, which I love. That's one of the reasons I love this deck so much. But on top of that, like, you're getting the divine masculine and the divine feminine of the major arcana in their reverse positions, which feels like it should be a lot of chaos, but actually it's a bunch of stillness. So let's talk about the Empress first. In her reverse position here, she is still in a period of growth, still in a period of fertilization and doing things, but it's the winter season. It's not the spring season where it's obvious. It's the winter season where it's all internal and it's all happening kind of behind the scenes. So what do I mean by it's in the winter season? Everybody has a season. We have our spring, summer, fall, winter season. And the winter season is that like still period where, yes, you know, the trees look dead. Everything looks dead, but there's a lot of things that are just digging their roots deeper so that way when the springtime does come, they can flourish so much more green, so much more bountiful, and so much more beautiful. So right now, when I see the Empress in that reverse position, that's you still doing work. That's you digging your roots deeper. That's you doing what it is that you need to do. But unfortunately, because we're not seeing anything, we're really aggravated, which is typical. And then the Emperor reversed. So the fun thing about the Emperor reversed, when, you know, he's all about logic, reasoning, moving forward, having structure. When it's reversed, it literally is chaos. It's impulse. It's just not even knowing where to start. It's having too many ideas and not enough opportunities, not enough actions. When I have the Emperor reversed, I know that we're really working towards something, but we're not really moving forward with it. Instead, we're doing a bunch of side quests pretty much. The Emperor, when he's in his reverse position, feels chaotic, feels overwhelmed, underappreciated, is not having fun with whatever they're working on, and is letting themselves get kind of like stuck under the mountain instead of seeing the fact that, hey, this is something that we can climb and learn from. So what's holding us back is just a lot of impatience right now is pretty much what it boils down to. But it's impatience because we've done work and we are just not seeing the results, which fair. Our advice/help cards. And I promise there are upright. It's not all reversed. The first like 7 of them are reversed. Okay, so we have the 7 of crystals in its reverse position, and we have the 6 of cups in its reverse position. Let's talk about the 7 of crystals first. Because the 7 of crystals, whenever I see this card, it's about being independent. It's about you knowing what it is you need to do with your time, with your energy, with your resources, and doing what you need to do to get it done. This independence comes natural to you in a sense of you're doing it. You don't have to think about it, but you've had to work for it. It's not like, you know, it was given to you. It's something that you've had to work for. It's something that you've had to obtain. And it's reverse position. It's not that you're losing that, you're just losing that confidence. Because you've had to work, because you've had to do, you know, put effort to obtain it, there's something about you right now that's worried that your time or your energy or even maybe your finances are slipping away from you and that you're about to lose control of it. I want to point out that you're not technically losing control of anything. Your energy and your time is what it is. You have to make the decision to either say yes or no to something, but it's always within you. And if you think you're losing money, are you really losing money or are you just investing in yourself? Because I really hear it a lot and I'm tired of hearing it, to be honest. I just threw money away. I just had to sink a whole bunch of money into this. Well, okay, you're not throwing money away. You're not sinking money into something. You're investing in your house. You're investing in your life. You're investing in something. So when I see the 7 of Pentacles reversed or the 7 of Crystals reversed, it's just that you're in a period where there's a lot of insecurity and doubt about the independence, not that you're necessarily losing it. Which then let's talk about the 6 of Cups in its reverse position, because the 6 of Cups is the nostalgia card. This is back when we remember the easy days. This is back when we remember how everything used to be, how easy things were, how grand things were, and it's a trap. In its reverse position, it's always a trap, because here's the thing. Things were hard then. It's just you're not focusing on that part. You didn't know how you were going to get past everything that you had then to get to where you are now. You were probably just as stressed then as you were now. The difference being now you have hindsight, you have 2020, you saw how you can get past it, but right now you feel like you're not going to get past this. You're going to get past it. So instead of focusing on the simpler times, the easier times, maybe realize, hey, I have done things that were difficult. I have gone through difficult period times in my life, and now I'm moving forward. And now I'm going to, come over this. I'm going to get over this just like I did it in the past. Our next steps card. Our first upright, the Ace of Cups, which is a beautiful thing to see, because when I see the Ace of Cups, always about new beginnings. Aces are always about new beginnings, but this is the Ace of Cups. So this is new beginnings, and what these new beginnings is emotional happiness, joy, excitement. Your cup is actually literally overflowing. Like, look at that. Your cup is overflowing. Your emotional cup is overflowing, and that is a beautiful thing to see, because if your emotional cup is overflowing, I'm sure the things around you too are also overflowing. So I don't know exactly like where you are now in all of this, but things are getting better. There's going to be happiness. There's going to be joy. There's going to be things coming your way. We just kind of have to continue through it. Next card, internal influences, is the Queen of Cups in her upright position. So what I love about this, specifically being in your internal influences, is this is what's going on inside of you. This is what's in your heart space. And your heart space is you taking the bubble bath, drinking wine, knowing you got this. Like, look how awesome that is. On top of that, though, this is also you knowing how to hold your emotions, how to express your emotions, how to nurture, how to grow, how to give yourself the ability to just be, and how to give yourself the ability to do what you need to do for yourself. That is a beautiful thing to see in this reading, because our next card, our way to our possible outcome, our way to is the Tower, and our possible outcome is the King of Cups reversed. So let's talk about the Tower first. Yeah, let's do this. So we have the Tower coming up. And the Tower, and I'm sorry, but this is like a little tree house, and I love that, like literal tree house. But let's talk about the Tower, because the Tower is a moment where it really shakes things up. It's unexpected. We don't know what's coming, and a lot of people think, oh my God, something terrible is going to happen to me, and that's not necessarily the case. There are positive Tower moments in our lives. We just don't think of them as Tower moments, because Tower's moments, the upheaval, the unexpected is typically bad. But getting pregnant is a Tower moment. Moving into a new house, that's a Tower moment. Buying a house is a Tower moment. First day at a new job, that's a Tower moment. Quitting your job, that's a Tower moment. These are all things that are Tower moments that you can be in control of, that have good and positive things for you, or else you wouldn't be doing them. So Tower moments are just Tower moments. It's the unexpected. It's something that's going to happen to you that you just don't see coming, that is going to shake things, but that doesn't mean it's going to ruin things. So let's learn to love the Tower. And the possible outcome is the King of Cups in its reverse position. And when I see the King of Cups in its reverse position, it's one of those, it's a reminder that we can always turn these cards around, okay? Especially the minor arcana. We don't have to land in these spots. But with the King of Cups, I see that we're, wanting to be real withdrawn. We're not wanting to talk about things. We're wanting to keep things in. We're not wanting to express ourselves in any positive way. When I talk about positive expression, especially with the King being that divine masculine, it's about acting and doing and, letting ourselves be in an active place of expression. So whether that be dancing, walking, yoga, journaling, coloring, painting, gardening, pottery, whatever you do, we're just being still. Again, back to this being still part, which isn't really where we should be, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So let's pull full story, because I know there's more to this than what I'm getting from each individual card, and then we'll get in with the oracles, and I'll bring Gayla back into this. So you are in a place of just relaxation. Okay, I get it. You were in a place of rest. We're in a place of recovery, and now it's time to get back into things, which sucks. I'm going to be real here from a person that has had to pull themselves out of that. Getting back into routine's not necessarily fun. The root of the issue is that we were in this place of, where things were coming to us easily, and we were in a place where we could dream and create. And now it's really we're dropped back into reality. We can't just daydream anymore. We have to get the mundane. We have to do the dishes. We have to do the laundry. We have to make money. We have to go to work. Whatever that is, we have to take care of the kids. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to make dinner. We're back into that mundane. It's kind of like that shock of coming back from vacation. That's exactly what it is. And now we're like, I'm here. What do I do? Okay, well, let's talk about the fact that we have these two in the reverse position. Right now is not going to be a time where you're going to see the fruit of your efforts. I would love to say that that's what's going to happen for you, pile one, but it's not at this exact moment. That doesn't mean your efforts are going in vain, though. Understand that all the efforts you put into now are going to flourish and be more fruitful whenever your spring happens. That could be tomorrow, that could be a week from now. I don't know when your spring is going to happen, but know that the efforts you put in now is going to help you when you flourish for that spring season. Just as we're in fall right now, at least I'm in fall season of Kentucky. The leaves are falling from the trees. I know the trees are about to go into what looks like the dead state. And I know that each tree is going to come back alive in spring so much more bountiful because it continued to dig its roots during the winter that we have, whatever that winter looks like, because Kentucky's weird about winter. So understand that right now, everything feels in vain, but it's not. Everything feels like it doesn't add up, but it does. So keep doing that. Because if you focus on the easier days and you give into that self-doubt, then we're not going to have a good time. But if we can remember that we've overcome these times, and if we can remember our independence and what we've achieved, this Ace of Cups is just going to come so much quicker. I really feel like this Ace of Cups is your spring. Like, I feel like, honestly, this is a short waiting period to spring. Because swords, when it comes to timelines with swords, that's typically, days, where cups equal about a month, and the Ace of Cups would be 1 month. So I don't know if that's an accurate timeline for anyone, but that's what the cards are telling me here. Your spring is within the month. I'm even going to say within this month. Give yourself some grace, because you already know how to take care of yourself. You already know how to do what you need to do for yourself. It is there. And yeah, this Tower moment's going to happen, okay? But you know what? This was the overarching rune for this reading. This is gift. This is partnership. You can find things in the Tower. If you keep your heart open with love, you can find things. You can see things. One person can change your life in a really positive way or in a negative way. I've had some great people that came in and just changed the trajectory of my life because they helped me release things. They helped me with things, which is a huge gift for me. And yeah, that is still a Tower moment. So let's turn this King of Cups, instead of him being reversed, let's put him upright so that way we can continue to enjoy our spring season, and we can continue to allow ourselves when we get there to just express and create and grow and do everything that we do in that divine masculine heart space, which is just physical expression of emotion and joy and happiness and peace. Might also be physical expression of, sorrow and grief too, but when we release that, we find the other ones. Which is going to lead me to our first oracle card. Dancer of Reconciliation. At least I think it's Dancer. Yeah, it's a Dancer. Okay. So Dancer of Reconciliation. What I love about this is when you think of reconciliation, at least if you're me, I always think about it in the Catholic sense because that's how I was born and raised. Follow with me here. And when I heard reconciliation, there was always penance. And that just was one of those things that was blah. But what reconciliation really means, what it honestly is you reconciling with yourself that the things that happened, yeah, it may have been outside of your control or even within your control, but here's the thing, you did the best you could at the time, and now you have to love yourself enough to release yourself from the situation so that way you can grow, and that is a bit of a dance sometimes. Why is it a bit of a dance? because you move forward with it and then you move backwards, and you move forward with it and you move backwards, because reconciliation is not just a I forgive you and you're done. It's an actual journey sometimes that you have to go through. Yeah, someone, accidentally hit side, sorry. Okay. Someone accidentally tail ends my car. Just like a fender bender, nothing huge. I can apologize. I mean that at that time, and I really do mean I'm sorry. That was a really hard example to explain for some reason. Now, let's say that I forgive them and then I get my insurance bill and I find out, oh, they don't have insurance and this just became a bigger deal. Guess what? I forgave them and I dropped it at that point. Now it's coming back to me and now I have to deal with it another way. Do I still forgive them or do I let go? That's part of the dance. I'm going to continue to forgive them. And I'm going to work through that aggravation and frustration and finding out that everything's on me and yada yada. But you're getting my point. It's not just a one and done. You're going to have these little triggers that are going to come in at you and you're going to have to decide to release and to let go again. So reconciliation, true reconciliation, is a dance. Why is it a dance? Because you're going to be going all over the place with it and you're going to keep moving forward with it. But sometimes, like the cha-cha, you move a few steps backwards just to go forward. Yeah, that was a really cheesy example, but it is what it is. All right, and then we have the Hunter of Paths as our next one. Love this one too, because when you hear, find your path, walk your path, our purpose and everything like that, everyone makes it sound like, oh, it's your life path. It's so easy. Just, follow it. Okay, first off, it's not that easy. Knowing what our honest life path is, what our life path is something we have to search for. You literally have to hunt for it. Why is that? Well, because there's this huge paved road that society really, really wants us to go down because it's the perfect road, but that's not most of our roads. Most of our roads are a little deer path on the edge of whatever. You have to kind of just find it and then go, oh, I think this might be mine, and then blindly go. So yeah, Hunter of Paths. It's a reminder that your path is not going to be laid out for you. It's a reminder that your path is something that you do have to look for, that you do have to go inside of yourself to find. But with that being said, as you're doing that searching, that looking, that finding, you're already creating your own path. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing about finding your path. The more inward you go, the more you're actually walking your path and creating it in the process. So Hunter of Paths, you're not actually hunting your path. You're searching, you're looking, but you're also creating it in the moment. And our last oracle card, Potential, which I absolutely love this card because I feel like this card wraps up everything about this reading, because this reading is a bit chaotic and a little all over the place, which, I'm doing this reading right around a full moon, so it makes sense because, haha, full moon. But Potential. This whole reading encompasses that you have the potential to make your destiny, to do what you want to do, to, give into flow instead of resistance. And once you do that, you'll have your Ace of Cups. It's coming. It's there. But the potential is within you to decide how you're going to get it, how you're going to arrive to it. Are you going to arrive to your spring aggravated, flustered, and frustrated because things just aren't going the way that you want them to? Or are you going to allow yourself to go with the flow and to say, okay, I'm going to let the universe do its thing, I'm going to trust it, and then arrive in a much more calm and peaceful state? This is your choice, because you have the ability to see this as a gift, or you have the ability to see this as a burden. The choice is yours. The universe is trying to help you here. It's doing what it can to give you what you need so that way you can get to whatever this cup is in the clouds that you're going after. You're going after it for a reason. It's not just a pipe dream. It's not just a daydream. It's there for a reason. Move forward. Go after it. But also trust the process. Go within yourself. Find your path. give yourself some grace and forgiveness, because in reconciliation, for me, the biggest person that I always had to forgive first and the hardest person I had to forgive first was myself. Not the other person. I mean, I forgave them too, but it was always easier to forgive them than it was to forgive myself. So pile 1, that's your reading. Hope it made sense for you, because you had a lot of going on and there's a lot of change and aggravation in this reading, and I'm just hoping that you were able to find peace somewhere, either within this reading or within your next few days, because I do know that things are going to get better. You just got to trust yourself and go with the flow. That's it for your reading. If you'd like a private reading, there's a link in the description below. I thank you for letting me read for you, and I can't wait to read for you again soon. Bye. Welcome, pile 2, to your reading. You picked the rune Manas in its reverse position. Yeah, that one's Manas. Okay. So with the rune of Manas, this is a sign of adversity, of just not. So it's a sign that you're in a rough situation, but not necessarily in a bad situation. Adversity is also one of those things that has a very negative connotation, but it's because it's not easy. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's also kind of about struggle, but I want to remind you too that there is growth with struggle. So take it for what it is, but that's the rune you picked. So let's get into your reading. This is you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation, with a Chariot reversed. When I see the Chariot reversed, it's a reminder that you are moving forward, but things have maybe come to a slower, maybe a standstill, maybe slower, maybe a slight detour, maybe a possible flat tire, but no matter what, you're moving forward. Chariot reversed is a reminder that we need to be in balance as we move forward. If we're not in balance, then it's just one of those things where something's going to happen. And this is what you're already going through, so I feel like you already know what this is about. Are you doing too much into work? Are you doing too much into play? Are you giving too much into rest? Or are you ignoring some type of situation altogether? Are we just not even paying attention to that big elephant that we know we need to talk about, we really know we need to work on, but right now I just don't have the energy for like the past week? Whatever it is, it's a reminder that things are going to continue to move forward whether you pay attention to or not. It's just the state that you're in that is going to either let it be a smooth ride or a bumpy ride. The root of the issue here, we have the King of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Knight of Staves in its upright position. Let's talk about the King of Pentacles reversed first. When I see the King of Pentacles, I want to remind you, quick caveat, Pentacles is not just about finances, it's about time, energy, and health. Spend time, spend energy, spend health. So when I see the King of Pentacles, I see that you are a person who knows how to manage their time, knows how to manage their resources, knows how to make smart decisions, often does make smart decisions, but right now would rather just be real impulsive, kind of just put everything off and say that's tomorrow's problem when it really needs to be done today. And what do I mean by tomorrow's problem that really needs to be done today? Like the fact that your stove's on fire should be addressed today, not tomorrow kind of deal. With it being said, I'm not saying that your stove's going to catch on fire or there's anything urgent, but that's kind of what I'm getting at, is the fact that you are trying to push off today's decisions that need to be today, tomorrow. Or even so, if that's not what you're doing, you're also hyper-focusing and you're trying to get all of next year's problem solved today. Point is that we're in a place of wasting our energy, of wasting our time, of not using our resources to the best. And this is something that we can easily turn around, but this is also where we're at. And then we add the Knight of Staves to that, which is not a great combination, to be honest. Because knights like to go, they like to move, and do. And you're like, well, Kirsten, it's upright, so why isn't this a good combination? Because the Knight of Staves or Wands in the normal, the normal tarot is a person that likes to do things, that likes to move, that likes to go, that likes to just go wherever they need to do whatever they need to do, and likes to do it in a very fast, action-oriented way. Can also be known to be impulsive and, make snap decisions on the fly. Again, not necessarily a bad thing by itself, But when you mix it with the King of Pentacles, who's already, not using her time and resources in a great way, we are being really impulsive and we aren't really giving into what's happening, because we'd rather just go do these things, go do these things, go do these things without thinking about the consequence, and that's an issue. So what's holding us back? We have the Five of Swords in its upright position, and then we have the Two of Pentacles in its upright position. Let's talk about the Five of Swords first. Because when I see the Five of Swords, I know there's some type of conflict in our head. I know that there is just that tornado that's going, that doesn't want to stop, that's creating conflict, that has all these arguments and all these things that it wants to say because it knows what's right and does not care what other people have to say. I'm not one to give into what other people have to say, but what is important here is that what's going on in your head is so conflicting that sometimes you need another perspective. You need another angle. I'm not saying that the other person's right. I'm just saying that your head being this conflicted isn't right either. We need to find a balance. We need to find a way to get everything out of our head and get it into a cohesive state where we can make a plan. We need to have plans and priorities, whether that be you journaling, meditating, talking to a trusted friend, venting, maybe even compromising with the person that you're currently arguing with. We need to find a balance, which literally is what the Two of Pentacles is about. It's about needing balance. It's about you being ungrounded and having too much energy in one thing and not enough energy in the other thing. When I see the Two of Pentacles, and I love this version of it specifically because look at that. The person's looking at the air, looking at that top pentacle, not even paying attention to whether, the ball in its hand is going to reach it or if it's going to fall or what. It's one of those where we are looking so much in one direction that our feet might not even be touching the ground. So what's holding us back is us just being so much in our head, not grounding ourselves and not giving ourselves the chance to, literally have some earth energy in our heart space. What's going to help the issue? I'm sorry, pile 2, your reading is kind of smacking you in the face. We have the Five of Cups in the upright position, and then we have the Star in its reverse position. Let's talk about the Five of Cups first, because this card is about grief. This card is about you having to let go of something. This card is about something in your life no longer being there. Now, I'm not saying you're going to lose a loved one or anything like that. Maybe you're already in the process. Maybe that's happened. I don't know. But the Five of Cups is something you have to work through, because the only way to get past grief is to work through it. This grief could be that you didn't get a job promotion that you really worked hard to get. This grief could be that your kid's going to a high school that you don't want them to go to because they made their choice and it's not your alma mater, which is what it is. This grief could be something about you and a friend getting in an argument, and now all of a sudden you don't see them the way that you used to, and you're wondering if you're going to be as close as what it was. I don't care what your grief is about. What I care is that you are willing to work through it. We need to work through the grief. If we stay at grief, nothing's going to happen. No growth is going to happen, and you're going to end up being very bitter. So let's work through this grief. And why am I being so hard about this? Why am I pushing this? Because when I have the Star in the reverse position, I'm seeing here that you have made distance. You have worked towards something, and right now you are in the middle of a tunnel. The metaphor I like to give is that you started in a tunnel, or you started walking in a tunnel, and now you're in the middle spot where you see no light from the beginning or in the end. You can go back the way you came, which did due to no progress, or you can continue to move forward, which is scary and unknown. You are in that middle spot, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to get brighter. You just have to keep moving forward. You have to keep working. You have to keep doing. You have to keep believing. Because hope isn't just this fantastical thing that's going to, just make you feel happy. Hope is something that you carry deep in your heart, that you know that you're going to achieve what you're going to do. And it's akin to faith. And it's one of those things that sometimes it is exactly what you need to lean into to help you through this dark moment, through this dark time. Our next steps is the Seven of Staves or Seven of Wands in its reverse position. So this card is about standing your ground. It's about you doing what you need to. It's about walking your talk. And when it's in its upright position, you're doing it because people aren't listening to you, because no one believes you, because your ground is being attacked. In its reverse position, you're just still being overly defensive, even though everyone's like, whoa, we get it. We see it. You don't need to keep telling us. We know. We believe you. You're doing the thing. So instead of having to continuously feel like you have to prove and keep pushing and keep, pushing other people and pushing, saying and being aggravated and argumentative, let's realize that people are paying attention. People are seeing the difference, and people know that you are doing exactly what you said you were going to do, that you're doing what you need to for yourself. And that's a beautiful thing to see. So let's just keep doing it without having to prove to anybody except for yourself that you're doing what you're doing. Our internal influences is the Emperor in its upright position. This is a beautiful thing to see, because this shows that right now you have the ability to use structure, logic, routine. You have it all within inside of yourself: wisdom, knowledge, the know-how to do what you need to do. And for someone who's all about going with the flow, this is actually a time to kind of lean into that divine masculine and give yourself a little bit of structure, give yourself a little bit routine. Start applying a little bit of logic when those priorities that you're doing. Because whether or not the list, actually happens, or the plans actually happens the way that you intend them to, having those things is going to help you to get through this dark moment, and it's going to help push you further and get you to where you need to be. Our way to a possible outcome, which I find really interesting. Pile 2 also had the Empress and the Empress in both of it, or in its reading, just a completely different spot. So if you felt called to also go to pile 1, maybe go to pile 1 too. Because our way 2 is the Empress reversed, and our possible outcome is the Six of Swords in the upright position. So this is actually a beautiful outcome. Let's talk about the Empress reversed. When I see the Empress reversed, I know that we are in our winter season. Not physically, but personally in our winter season. What do I mean by seasons? I mean that every one of us has a spring, summer, fall, and winter season. And right now, you're in that winter season. You're at the point where you don't have your leaves, and everything you're doing is just happening inside of you, so that way when spring comes, you can flourish and be even better, bigger, greener, bushier. As my tree metaphor goes, you follow me here. What's happening in your winter season? Right now, you're just doing a lot of internal work. You're doing a lot of work for yourself, and you feel frustrated because you don't see an outcome. Well, that's because right now you're just digging your roots deeper. You're digging and growing those roots deeper, so that way when you have the time to flourish, it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be flawless, and it's just going to be effortless, and it's going to be amazing for you. And then we have the Six of Swords as our possible outcome, which is one of my favorite cards of the tarot. Why is this one of my favorite cards of the tarot? Because this card, it's in this one too. Okay, because this card, amongst all decks, is the only one that constantly has 2 elements. This dragon is on water. Why is it on water? Because if you are working internally on yourself, your head goes first, your heart has to follow. So I know right now, whatever you're working through, pile 2 is really difficult. I'm completely understanding that. We haven't even gotten to your oracle cards, but I know that this isn't an easy thing. And right now you're doing the mind work, you're doing the shifting, you're doing the paradigm thing, you're manifesting, praying, releasing. It's happening, but you're not feeling it internally right now. And that's okay. That's okay, because the head leads, the heart will follow. So just keep doing this, because you are in the transition. The transition's happening. It's going to be there. Don't think that everything you're doing is in vain. Now that we did all the cards individually, let's pull full story, because here's the truth of it. Something happened. Something major happened, and it wasn't something that you wanted to happen, and it's put a real kink in your plans. The Chariot reversed here literally is that, yes, life is moving forward. You're still going after whatever you're going after, But that doesn't mean that there hasn't been a massive detour or massive traffic jam. And whatever that is really just kind of wreaking havoc with you right now. When we have the Five of Swords and the Two of Pentacles as what's holding us back, I see that we are really in our headspace and not grounded, and we're just kind of just going. Not only does we have that, but we're just doing actions that don't make sense because we're not using logic and reasoning right now, which sometimes I advise against that. But right now, I'm literally advising it. Why am I also advising it? Because we have the Emperor and our internal influences here. This literally is that time to lean into structure, to routine, if only to get you past whatever this traffic jam is, if only to get you past this dark spot in the tunnel that you're at. Because we have to work through this. We have to work through it. Because the only way to get past grief is to work through grief. There's no other route. There's no other way. I apologize if you want me to tell you something different, but I am not. But here's the beautiful thing. You're going to keep growing those roots. You're going to keep doing the thing, and the transition's going to happen. And the fun thing about this is this doesn't even just have to be a mental shift. This can be a physical shift too. It's going to be you going on a trip, going on a journey or something. But the transition is happening. Trust that it's happening. Let's look at our oracle cards. We have Hunter of Strength. What I love about this card is it's one of those things where we think strength is something that we should all have innately inside of us, or that other people have strength innately inside of them, and that we're just innately weak, but that's not the case. Strength is a decision over and over and over and over again that you make to be strong. Think about it. The person who's weightlifting, who can lift up to, 250 pounds, they made the decision over and over and over again to increase the weights, so that way they can lift that 250 pound, whatever weight they're lifting. You also have it in you to continuously make the choice to be strong in whatever your situation is. So, Hunter of Strength isn't necessarily that you're going to look for it. It's that you're going to keep doing the action that allows you to be strong, whatever that is for you. Here's another beautiful oracle card. Spirit of Empowerment. That is what's surrounding you right now. This is what the universe is working with you. I know right now this sucks, and I know it seems really shitty, and I know it's difficult, and I know it's hard, but the universe is with you on this. They are there to help you, but you just have to do some of the work. And some of the work means getting past this grief and working through it. Some of the work means that even though you don't feel like being organized and feel like falling into routine, but that's kind of what you need. Doing the work means moving forward even when it's scary. Doing the work means grounding yourself and getting you into a safe space where you know you can trust yourself. My last oracle card is Space. Because that is what you need right now. And what I love about this is this isn't necessarily a void. This isn't necessarily a big open thing. This is space, and it shows a person in their own space. Their own space. That's what's important, is you being in your space, present in your space with whatever you have to deal with, whatever this is. This is going to be a tough time. And if you're reading this, if you're watching this reading, like in its current state, we are having a full moon right now that's going to be partially eclipsed, and there's a lot of high energy right now. So give yourself that space. Ground yourself. Find that peace. You got this, pile two. If you need any help, comment down below and let me know what you need, and we'll work through this together. I don't want you to have to go through this by yourself. If you want a private reading, there's a link in the description below. I thank you so much for letting me read to you, and I can't wait to read for you again. Bye, pile two. Welcome, pile three, to your pick a pile reading. You chose the rune of Chera, which is about harvest, earth energy, reaping what you sow. It's a rune that talks about, just it's a rune that really is about work, to be honest, as well. It's not so much just busy work, but meaningful work. The earth energy, the harvest, the abundance is because you did the work. You plowed the fields, you weeded, you watered, you picked everything when it was ripe. You did the work. So that is the rune that you picked for the overall reading of this message. And let's get straight into your cards. So this is you. Not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And this is the Ace of Pentacles, which that is a beautiful thing to see, because when I see the Ace of Pentacles, I see that you are in a place of new beginnings, and you're in a place of new beginnings in the earth energy, literally. I want to remind you, though, that Pentacles is not just about finances. It's also about your time, energy, and health, because you spend time, you spend energy, and hopefully we're not spending our health. So when I see the Ace of Pentacles, I see we're finding ourselves in a new place of just, time, energy, excitement. And why am I saying excitement? Because this is one of those things where whatever this newness is, we're excited about that journey, we're happy about it, and we're about to learn or be embarked on some new adventure that's really meaningful for us. The root of the issue, we have the High Priestess reversed, and we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. Let's go ahead and talk about the High Priestess reversed. I was about to say the High Pentacles. But the High Priestess reversed, this is a card that tells me that you have a knowing, you have a way, you understand how to listen to yourself. We're just not. Instead of trusting our gut feelings, instead of trusting our intuition, instead of trusting whatever sources that you have, you're just going against it because it doesn't follow logic and reasoning. It's you needing to do what you think is best for you, in the sense of, my ego says this is right for me, not what's really right for me. And whenever that happens, we kind of find ourselves and wonder, well, how did I end up with this way? When really the truth is there is some part of us that knew that what we were doing wasn't going to work out the way we wanted it to, and because of that, we're aggravated. Then we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. And this card is you wanting to be recognized for the work that you've done. You wanting people to see that, hey, I've been putting time and energy into this, pay attention to the fact that this is something I'm proud of. This is something that I've done. And once again, it's a reminder that this isn't to be, whatever you're doing isn't to be done for recognition. It's to be done for yourself to see that you've made progress. Whatever you're doing right now, A, has to do about you, and B, has to do about you finding worth and confidence in yourself. It doesn't matter if other people are proud of you. What matters is that you need to be proud of yourself. You need to have the confidence in your enough self to say, what I did is enough and I'm proud of it, whether it gets recognized or not. Because guess what? It might not get recognized ever. It might get recognized tomorrow. It might get recognized by the wrong people. But what matters 100% is that you recognize it, and no matter what other people do or not, because as long as you recognize it, it's true. That was a lot, sorry. All right, let's talk about what's holding us back. We have the Six of Wands and the Four of Swords. So what I love about this combination is that, let's talk about the Six of Wands first, actually. The Six of Wands, this is about the return victor. This is about you coming back from something that you really wanted to do, about you succeeding, achieving something that's really important to you, and you did it. Congratulations. Be proud of the fact that you've come so far and done this amazing thing for yourself. And then also, too, it's important to know that you rested, and that's a beautiful thing to see. Rest after a type of journey. In the typical, like the tarot weight version, in the Rider Waite version, this is the return victor. So it would only make sense that you take time to rest, that you give yourself that ability to just relax, to, literally hang up your hat, to allow yourself to, say, right now, I'm just going to do what I need to do for me. That's a beautiful thing to see. But here's the thing, we can't stay there. We cannot stay there. We can, be proud of our achievements, be proud of our accomplishments, and we can rest, but we can't stay in a restful spot. We have to get up and we have to do things again. So kind of think about it as we just had the Olympics. So think about it as all those gold medalists that came back. Okay, they did a great thing and they 100% deserve to relax and take a break from what they did. But can they live on that alone? Are they going to win another gold medal if they just stay in a rested and relaxed space? No. They have to get back up and continue to do the thing that they want and continue to do the thing. That's what this is about. Our advice / help for very earth energy in this one. We have the 5 of Pentacles reversed and we have the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Let's talk about our 5 of Pentacles reversed. So 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to show you the upright thing first, just because I really want you to see this picture. So the 5 of Pentacles is a card that shows these two figures either possibly going towards that cottage or away from the cottage. The thing is you don't really know what their decision's going to be. When I see the 5 of Pentacles in a reverse position, for me, it's a reminder that we need to let go of our pride. Now, what does that mean in an earth way, though? Because that sounds kind of like air element. When I say we need to let go of our pride, we need to strip ourselves down of what is holding us back. So maybe that is a purge. Maybe right now you are being asked to go through some type of purge of your resources or your time or your energy. Are you spending your time and energy on things that aren't serving you? Are you going to walk away and say, I deserve better? Or are you going to walk away and say, no, I really do need to help right now? Because when you have everything, that's fine, you can be choosy. But in this card, we don't have everything. When I see this card, we are running low. We're running low on time, we're running low on energy, we're running low on resources. Whatever it is, the universe is making you purge, but it's making you purge because you need to realize what is important. Then we have the 10 of Pentacles up here, and it's also reverse position. The 10 of Pentacles is about, the happy family, the abundance, the security, the everything. When it's in reverse, it's not saying that it's not there. It's just saying that there's something bothering it. There's a thorn, there's an itch, there's something that somebody, you, wants to do that's not part of that abundance, that's not part of that family, and that's okay. But you need to go out and actually venture it in order to have this turn whole. So when I see these two cards in our advice and help area, when I see them in the reverse position, I'm reminded what earth energy is about. It's about our foundation. It's about what we do. It's about what we do with what we have to create and grow and do something more. We're really being asked here to look at what we have to see what's worth keeping and what's holding us back and what we're just carrying out of pride. Because sometimes we need to drop the ego, we need to drop the facade, and we need to be very real with our circumstances and our situations. And maybe we do need to ask for help. That being said, our next steps is the 4 of Coins reversed. Again, back to this earth energy, 4 of Pentacles reversed here. And you see this person is sitting on their chest. And they're sitting on the chest, whether it be empty or full, we don't know. But they're just sitting in a room alone saying, I have me, I have what's mine. But if you ask me, that doesn't look very abundant. What that looks like is someone who's locking down on what's theirs and being stubborn about how they want to handle it. Being stubborn about how they use their time and energy because they want it to be theirs and theirs alone, when really our time, our energy, and even, yes, our resources need to be shared. Now, I'm not saying that if you can't feed your family, go feed another family. That's not what I'm getting at. But what I'm saying is our time needs to be shared with other people so that way we can receive from other people. That's literally how this works. It's an exchange. If all you can do right now is help somebody on an occasion, maybe, help them listening to their problems, help them maybe do some dishes, help them, give them a ride someplace if they need a ride, whatever it is. You can do things that aren't going to take away from you, but that are going to help you receive. So what is it that we're being very prideful and very stubborn about that we can do in order to change So that way we can change our circumstances so we can receive. Our internal influences. The Queen of Cups. This is a good card to see. Because with everything going on right now, it's good to know that we are emotionally stable, that we know how to express, that we know how to communicate, that we know how to nurture, grow, and love the things that are around us. That's a beautiful thing to see. Our way to our final outcome is the Three of Swords to the Seven of Wands. Yeah. Back to this pride thing. So let's talk about what the Three of Swords is. Three of Swords is the disappointment card. Now remember that swords is the air element. This isn't our heart, this is our head. So when I see the Three of Swords, I know that the reason that our heart is hurt is because of disappointment. What are we disappointed about? We're disappointed that something didn't meet our expectations. Whether that be us, another person, an outcome of something that we put effort into. And why weren't our expectations met? Lack of communication. We set the bar too high. We had perfection standards, which perfection isn't possible. The disappointment is from our mind. And why do I mean that? What I mean is, yeah, you were really hoping that that person was going to return your feelings. Did they ever express those feelings? Did you express, the feelings up until this point? Have you even talked about this? Was there communication to match this, or was this just something that was going on in your head? Yeah, you were really hoping to, get that big promotion. You were working so hard, but did you even tell anyone up until when you applied for it that you were working on it? Did you talk to anybody? Did you even, ask, hey, this is something I want to work towards. Can you help me find out my weaknesses so I can work on it? Did you? Did you communicate? Did you think things through? Did you have the bar so high in a delusional state? Or did you actually talk about it in any way? Because our possible outcome is you being really defensive. And that's not a necessarily happy possible outcome right now. I'm going to pull another card. Don't worry, there will be another card pulled. But let's talk about the Seven of Wands. I mean, look at this. Look at her. She's literally being attacked by other people and having to defend herself. She's having to stand up for herself. And not only is she being attacked by others, but she's being attacked by her own kind. So this isn't just they're attacking me because they don't understand me. No, these people should be understanding you. And they just don't think that what you're doing is right. So let's pull full story on the initial reading that I have, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull a card or two for clarification on how we can really pull this around. Because pile 3, we got a lot going on. So we started off really happy. We had us as the Ace of Pentacles in a new beginning, in a new place, and things are great. And then we are just surrounded by, I need to have everyone pay attention to me. I need to have external validation. I need to have everything done on my behalf because I've done this great thing in the past, and I don't want to let go of the fact that, hey, I achieved something great and I deserve to be treated such a way. Okay, cool, you did this great thing. Really proud of you. Honestly, proud of you. But we can't stay and rest forever. That's just not going to be how it's going to be. Your advice and grounding is literally for you. It's begging you to let go of whatever this expectation of things just working out perfectly are, and realize that you need to work on the foundation. Maybe you need to go out and do some weeds, whatever that actually physically looks like for you. Is that meaning that maybe you need to actually purge things in your house that are just garbage? Probably, possibly, I don't know. But I know that we are having a lack because we aren't doing the work. Because Earth always provides, but if we're not going to actually get up and, take the fruit, it's not going to just hand it to us. We have to actually make our own dinner. That being said, the Four of Pentacles is here. And it's reminding you that, yeah, your time and energy is valuable, but you can't just sit on it. Literally, that's what that person's doing. They're just sitting on it. You have to get up and do things. You have to create. You have to give something. You have to do something. You have to produce something in order to continue to be this. Because you can't live off of whatever that one great thing you did was. And the longer that you think you can do that, the more disappointment you're going to have. So let's pull some tarot cards. What's the bottom of our... The star reverse is at the bottom of our deck, which is ironic because for me, the star reverse is like when we're at our darkest spot. And I like to tell the story about how you go in the tunnel, you get to the middle and you can't see light from either side and you can choose to go backwards or you can go forward into the unknown. And right now you're in that dark spot. So let's, oop, what just flew? I was going to say, let's see what we need to do to pull ourselves out of this. And we got the Queen of Swords in the upright position. So what we need to pull ourselves out of this is to see things clearly for what they are. We need to start using logic, analyzing the situation. How can I utilize what I have to effectively communicate what I need, or to effectively communicate what I'm about to create or what my expectations are? Again, literally, I asked what we needed, and the Queen of Swords just literally came fluing. So we need to be the person that sees things honestly. We need to see them clearly. We need to communicate. And if we do that, let's see what our possible new outcome is going to be. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that! Our new possible outcome, the Seven of Pentacles. How awesome is that? So you have two paths. You can take the Three of Swords and find yourself in a very defensive way. Did I do that right? Or you can take the Queen of Swords and find yourself back to that independent earth energy that you're so used to being in. Pile 3, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I feel like this is just one of those things where you feel like you're stuck and you just really need to get yourself out there a little bit. Go ahead and lean into this Queen of Swords energy. Because if I had to choose an outcome between the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles, I know which one I'm choosing. It's not Wands. Because this one doesn't sound like a lot of fun. This one shows me exactly that I'm doing what I need to do for myself. And I also want to point out too, that if you're in this Ace of Pentacles energy, you're in this new energy, this new place, this new beginnings, you're at the beginning. So you have the choice, you have the chance to create this beautiful thing and to make it whatever you want to be. So focus on whether you want to reap the rewards or if you just want to find yourself in a place where you feel like you're being attacked. Your choice. I'm just a messenger here. Let's look at our oracle cards. We have Shaman of Tradition. The Shaman of Tradition. You know what? Hold on, time out. I just realized that Jera is earth energy, like 100% earth harvest. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these cards, 6 of these now 13 cards is earth energy. So really maybe focus on grounding. Just putting that out there. Okay, now let's talk about your oracle card, Shaman of Tradition. What I like about Shaman of Tradition is this is a card that is a reminder that there is strength in traditions. And I'm not talking about you doing what society wants you to do. I'm talking about the tradition that means something to you. Whether that be you making yourself a cake on your birthday every year and, you know, using blue icing. It's a tradition, it means something to you. I know it might not be your birthday right now, but follow through here with me. Tradition is something that has long-standing roots that mean something to you. And if you don't have tradition, because you're like, let's just say you're someone who doesn't come from a strong cultural family background that has tradition, make your own. Make your own. You can make your own tradition. My traditions that I grew up with are not the same traditions I've chosen to follow now in my adult life, and that's okay. My childhood tradition was to go to midnight mass every Christmas. Ugh. My adult tradition is to go to bed at a decent time at Christmas, wake up early, and enjoy my Christmas early. Because I really, really like just to have that peaceful time to myself before I had to start cooking and, getting everything ready for having my family over. And I love hosting Christmas. I absolutely love hosting Christmas dinner. It gives me a reason to have a big dinner, it gives me a reason to try new foods and new dishes, and I love cooking for people. So what's my new tradition? Literally waking up early and having my time to myself in the morning and then starting to make a beautiful dinner for my family. And I absolutely love it. It means a lot to me. So, shaman tradition. Do something that works for you. Make your own tradition. Don't do what, everyone else does if it's not what you want to do for you. Do what you need to do for you. The other one, shaman of purification. Which I also kind of love that looks like a witch because this is a witchy deck. Did not know that was going to be that way when, I put this all together. So, Shaman of Purification. Now, let's talk about this card specifically, and then I'm going to put these two cards together because there is a beautiful message here. Shaman of Purification is about you getting to the purest part, the authentic part, to the truth. It's you literally saying, you know what, I'm going to be really real with myself. It's almost like the judgment card of this deck. I'm going to be really real with myself, and I'm going to face myself head on, and I'm going to see what I need to do to better myself and see what I need to let go to better myself. Now let's put these two cards together because the shamans of this deck are kind of like the higher, it's kind of like a higher teacher, a mentor. It's you needing to put yourself in a place of learning, put yourself in a place of, doing something different. So when I see the purification and the, and the tradition here, okay, that was really hard for me to do. Anyway, when I see these two together, it's literally about you learning how to do something to ground yourself, how to center yourself. And honestly, if I had two oracle cards that ever told me to meditate or journal, these would be it. Literally. How do you learn how to purify yourself? How do you learn to do something on a new regular basis? You just kind of do it. You make your own tradition. So maybe right now, your new purification tradition would be you taking a shower and asking, when you're in that shower, cleanse me of the things that aren't serving me. Cleanse me of my limiting beliefs. Maybe it's you choosing to have 5 minutes of journaling time to yourself. Maybe it's you giving yourself 10 minutes to meditate. Maybe it's you actually going on a 10-minute walk outside in nature. I don't know what it is, but you're kind of being asked to make a new routine to put yourself together. And then surface. This is your other oracle card. And what I love about this card is it looks like two people who've been underwater for a while who are just now coming to the surface. And for me, this card has meant a lot of things over the years. But right now in this one, the most unique message I've ever gotten with surface is you need to come up for air. Literally, you need to come up for air. Because your reading right now, pile 3, is so inundated with, just being overwhelmed and wanting things to be perfect and wanting to have yourself getting recognition from outside. I just feel like you're running out of breath and you literally need to come to the surface just to breathe. Take some deep breaths. Here, I'll take one with you right now. Let's breathe in and let's breathe out. Do it again if you need to, because you have what you need. You've accomplished great things in the past, and you can continue to accomplish great things. You can continue to make strides. You can continue to make these phenomenal changes in your life. But just because you did it once in a certain way doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly that certain way. Give yourself the grace to drop the pride, to drop the ego, to reach out, to spend your time and energy with other people so that way you can receive. That's your reading, pile 3. If you have any questions for me, comment them in the or put them in the comments below. If you'd like a private reading, there's a link in the description below. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for letting me read for you, pile 3, and I can't wait to read for you soon. Bye-bye.